Hi everyone, my name is Buddy from Crangle and today I'm going to give you a full walkthrough of the Crangle app. Let's start by setting Crangle up for you. First of all, go into settings and choose your language. Once you've chosen your language, come back into settings and we're going to choose Imperial or Metric. Okay, now the next step is to set up your crane. Select settings and go to My Cranes. We're going to create a new crane. Today, I'm going to use an LTM 1060 as an example crane because it's such a popular crane. Most people have access to one. First of all, you would go into crane type. There are 12 crane types to choose from, but today we are working with an all-terrain. Here we name it LTM 1060. And then now we have to set the parameters. So here we have pivot height. You can do this in feet or metric. Today I'm using metric as an example. So it's 3.55 meters high for the pivot point. Pivot distance to zero is 2.5 meters. 2.5. And then last is crane end to zero. From the center of slough to the rear of the crane, we have 3.5 meters. And then we save that, and now we have that in our fleet. If you want to go in and color it, that is also no worries at all. I'll just run with that at the moment. Okay, let's save that, and let's add that to our main screen. Now, once we're on our main screen, this is when you can set up your markup. You place your finger on the tip of the boom to extend. You can drag that in and out, or you can select the boom length. Then place your finger on the boom to boom up and down. And you'll see down here, it will show your radius and your boom angle. And when you need a tip height, it'll also show your tip height. Good for airport permits or working under a tower crane or any scenario. Then we have our jib. Select jib in the top right hand corner. Select the jib length, or you can grab the tip and drag it in and out. You can place your finger on the jib to select the angle, or you can type the angle into the input box. Now we have our boom configuration. Now let's set up our building. Tap your finger on the building. You can drag your finger to raise it and place your finger anywhere on the screen to move it, or you can input the parameters here. Let's say our building is 20 meters high and it's 20 meters wide. Now, we're gonna set the distance of the building from the center of slough. We're gonna say it's 10 meters from the center of slough. Again, you can place your finger on it and you can drag it around. Place your finger on the boom and boom it down to the building. And with this configuration, it will show you how far in to the edge of the building you can reach. Now you can count the squares or select the ruler, zoom in, grab and drag. I'll do that the other way actually. I'll delete that and I'll grab and drag from this way so you can see that ruler measurement. And up here you have a little magnifying glass so you can get fine, accurate measurements. Then let's grab this end and reset it, drag it to the end of the building. There we go. Unselect the ruler. Let's zoom in. We can reach 21.3 meters in from the edge of the building with that configuration. Now, obviously, we can change that configuration. Let's go 38.1 meters of boom, and then we can get a little bit further. Let's grab that ruler again. Now we can get 23.3 meters in from the edge of the building. To delete that ruler, tap on the one which shows all of your different measurements down the side, and then tap the cross again. To deselect the jib, tap on the jib and it will go. Down here, for the object, you can change the color of the object, and for other objects, you can flip them. I'm going to delete the block. Let's go into our objects. Now here in our objects, we can create all different types of tower cranes. We can set up environments for different sites so you can get an accurate markup of your site and also share it as a lift plan. If we're selecting a container, you can flip the container. That's the measurements of a 40 foot, a 10 foot, or a 20 or a 40 end on, and there's a 20 foot. Now let's say we are lifting one off the back of a truck. I'm going to grab that truck and I'm going to flip it around to end on. I'll then grab the container. I'll put it on the back of it. Now you can see it's actually behind it. So let's change the layer by pressing up and down on the arrows, which will change the layer and bring it to the front. And let's change the color of that so it stands out a little bit more. We don't need to boom that long. And there we go. Now this markup, we can share as a range chart markup, and we enter the job details here, or we can share it as a lift plan. Pitch to resize on the map, press next. Now we enter all the details. We're going to start with the crane supplier. You can enter the details and press save for future use, and then when you press next, it'll automatically save that into your directory. Or you can click on your folder and you can just fast select already saved crane supplier. Same for clients. Let's go to the folder and let's add already saved client. Here you can enter any job details that will specifically point to the job that you're doing. And then here for the crane, we can go to pre-selected cranes, or you can enter it and then press the save for future use. Here we have a reading and counterweight configuration. Let's just say today, line pull for that crane is 4.5 ton. Parts of line, we're going to run 3 parts of line, and we're just running with road travel counterweight, which is 4.9 ton. Here you write a description of what you're doing, and then we add our load details. Let's say the container is 8,000 kilos. The rigging weight is 200 kilos and the hook weight is 300 kilos. That'll automatically add up your total weight. And then once you put in your weight load limit, 12 ton, 12,000 kilos, it'll show you capacity of chart that you're operating at. Now down here, you can add your point load. If you unselect the point load, it won't show on the lift plan. If you select it, you add your outrigger force, 22 ton for outrigger force, and then we have pads of 1.2 meter by 1 meter on the ground, which shows you here, you have an area of 1.2 square meters, and you have a point load of 18.3 ton per square meter, or 179 kPa. Now, if you switch this over into imperial, all these measurements will show in pounds per square inch and kips. Then when you press next, you can see here a nice PDF layout of your lift plan, and press next. You can message it or email it across any platform. Now let's go into directory. This is where all of your saved crane suppliers or saved clients go. You can go in there and you can add them, in which case, after you've added them, it is a fast, quick add into the lift plan to speed up the entire process. Let's go have a look at the calculator. This calculator was designed for frequently used formulas within the crane industry. Here we just have a basic percentage of chart. If you're lifting 500 kilos and you are good for 1,000 kilos, it will show you that you are operating at 50% of chart. Now, this one's a little bit more fun. It's a max load when you have to derate your chart by a certain amount. As you'll see there's a little description of what it does. So today, we're on a site where we are not allowed to exceed 75% of chart. Now, our weight load limit is 1,500 kilos. Now, we are not allowed to lift more than 1,125 kilos. That is max load plus rigging. The next one is the same, but in reverse. It's your minimum weight load limit required to not exceed 75%. Our load plus rigging is 1,125 kilos. Now, our minimum weight load limit has to be 1,500 kilos, 1.5 ton. And down here is the point load calculator. You can choose a square or a round pad, dependent on what type of pads you have. Now, if it's a round pad, obviously you put in the pad diameter. Say if that's 1.2, it will show you that you have an area of 1.13 meters squared. Let's go back to square. We have an outrigger force of 22 ton. We have pad size of 1.2 by 1.2 square meters. And then it will instantly show you your point load in tons per meter squared and kPa. Now let me show you, when we change that to imperial, oops, let's go to the calculator. And now that will show you in kips per square foot and PSI. So with 22 kips, well, that will actually be a lot higher because that was 22 ton. So kips, let's say 42 kips, you will then see it's 29 kips per square foot or 202 PSI. Depending on your location, you can choose whatever setting you would like. Now, if you want to reset your chart, then you can jump into reset chart, reset, and it will take you back to a default setting. Now let's create an object. Let's make a tower crane. Let's say that height is, oh, that's in feet. I do not understand feet. Let's change that back. Metric. Select that. Let's say the tower is 40 meters high. Choose the width, generally 2.4. Let's drag that over to 16 meter radius, sorry. Okay, let's add the A-frame on the back. Now here you can see, you can flip that. It's actually a little bit too close to the crane, isn't it? Let's go that way. Let's put that on there. Let's add a cab. Okay, now we have something representing a tower dismantle. I would obviously go and change the crane. I would not use this LTM 1060, but this is just an example of how we would use the app for planning a job and our minimum boom height. So our minimum boom height for this A-frame, you can also change the height of the A-frame. Yeah. Depending on the A-frame, so you can set it to the specific model of the tower crane you are pulling down. So if it is 12 meters high, and you can also choose the width of it as well. So let's put that back there. Now we can grab that and we can see what type of height we need for that. Then we can delete that, bring it down to the cab and the tower, so then we can work out our optimal boom length for here. We're going to run a shorter boom so we have a greater work capacity. And there we go. And then you can share that as a lift plan or a range chart markup, and everybody understands what's going on. And that is the Crangle app. Super easy, super intuitive. We have all different type of cranes here for all different models. We have crane trucks, tower cranes, hammerheads, and luffers. And also we have a lot of new features coming. We are currently working on PC by huge request, and that should be ready in the new year. Thank you very much. Enjoy Crangle.